Okay, so today we're going to look at 2 and 4 mean smoothing with centering. And I'll get to why we need to center in just a moment. So if you smooth over an even number of points, the center of the set of points is not at the time point belonging to the original series. Again, I'll show what that means. And this is a problem addressed by using a process called centering. Again, I'm going to show that very, very shortly. Centering can involve taking, in this case, I've got a two moving mean of the already smooth values. And the centering allows it to line up with the original time value. So it could be 2, could be 4. If you want to go 6, generally you're going to have to do 2 or 4. I'm saying 6 because that's just an example of what you could go for. Now, so what I'm going to show you here, in a sense, is I'm not even going to put values in here. Let's call it square, triangle, circle, and upside down triangle. I just don't want to put numbers there for the moment. So before I center it, I'm smoothing initially. So let's say I'm doing just a 2 mean smoothing. The reason why we have to center is that when I say get these two first, I'm going that plus that, and dividing by 2. But if you have a look, this is not lined up to any particular time code, or like, if it was January, February, March, or whatever. So it's not lined up to anything specific. So that's why we then have to go. So you've done that. So then I'm going to go these two. So then I'm going to go triangle plus circle divided by 2. And I did in the wrong spot. I actually did color these for specific reasons. So that's going to go in there. Triangle plus circle divided by 2, and that's going to give, each of those are going to give me some particular values. Then by centering it, what I'm doing is by joining these two up, when I go here, after centering, if you look, that's now lined up on number 2. So now by centering it, I've got essentially my X value here, and I've got my Y value there, and I can now plot it. That's why we have to center. Now, I'm going to use some numbers very shortly. I just want to show you without sort of getting caught up in having to calculate something there. But whatever values I get from here and from here, I will then have to divide that by 2. Whatever the value is there, I divide it by 2, and that gives me my value, because then I'm having to get the mean from those two. All right, so let's have a quick look. This is in the OneNote. It's just a template if you wanted to put that in your summary book. And the only reason I say that is because if you get an exam question and it's got a table where you're trying to visualize and it struggles, you can put the numbers in and quite quickly use this to work out where you've got to look for. Because again, you don't have to do all the calculations if you only have to focus on 1 or 2 areas. So let's have a quick look at two mean smoothing with centering. So again, the idea of the centering, it's basically what I just showed you before. This is essentially what's happening. You're smoothing the values like that. And how does that actually look in practice? All right. So again, it's sort of, and this is sort of important here, because that actually works when we get to the calculate instructions. You've essentially got 2 Y's here, and you can make use of that aspect. Okay. So basically what we're doing is 24, 27. So I'm going 24 plus 27 divided by 2 equals 25.5. And that's linked to there. Then if I go over here, I go, the next one is 27 and 21. So it's these two. Okay, so 27 plus 21 divided by 2 is 24. That's that value there. I get the average of those, and my first point is 24.75. Now, if I then subsequently do the next one, okay, so, hang on, you've already got this one, we've already done that. So we've got 24 there, which links into there. And then I go 21 plus 18 divided by 2, that gives me 19.5. I put that there. Then I'd add those two up and divide by 2, and I get 21.75. Okay. And basically the same process with 4 mean smooth. I'm going to go through in a separate page, a little bit more detail on that. But you can see that it's the same basic idea. Okay. So let's have a look at that. So this is where you got 4 mean smooth and recentering. So here's some data. And what you're going to go is 10. So basically here, what it becomes, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit so I can write it without it playing up too much on me. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I had to restart OneNote. So basically what you're having to do here, so let's zoom in a bit so I can fit my writing in here. So what you've got is you're going to be going 10, you're going to get those 4, and it's going to slip into here. So I'm going to go 10 plus 12 plus 6 plus 5, divide that by 4 equals a value. Then I get my next 4 numbers, which are going to be these 4, and that slots into there. So I'm going to go 12 plus 6 plus 5 plus 22. And guess what I'm going to divide by? Will be 4. And that equals a certain value. And let's do one more. I'm going to go 6 plus 5, 6 plus 5 plus 22 plus 18 divided by 4. And the reason I've drawn shapes is just, because I'll show you the actual data in a moment, what the values are. So what I'm going to get is here, I'm going to get whatever I get for that section there, plus whatever I got there. I'm going to divide that by 2, and that gives me my value there. So when I go back here, I'm going to, for the next one, I'm going to have essentially that circle, because that's what's corresponding to this value here. Okay. And it's that circle. So if I'm just sort of keeping with, my sort of colors here, it's going to be that divided by 2 equals another value there. And I just keep going through that and working out the 4 moving mean with centering. So this part here is the centering part. All right. So the actual values, as you can see here, you would work it out and it would be 9.75, then 12. But remember, that's what's matching up to there. That's matching up to there. And that's matching up to there. That's matching up to there, etc., etc. Okay, so that's how you have to sort of, that's what we mean by four moving mean with centering, okay? And you could fill out this graph here just doing that, okay? And you just keep going. You'd be going, the next one would be sort of, you're going, so it'd be 5, 22, 18, 13, then it'll be 22, 18, 13, 7, etc., etc., etc. And you're going to fill these out, and then you join up the two of them, like the average of sort of these two, then it would be average of these two would go there, this one would go here. If you did these two, it would give you that one, etc., etc. Okay, so this here is a 4-point centered moving average. Again, you're told what to look for here. You're being told in this particular question between 3 and 6, so I'm going between 3 and 6. So I'm going to add those up and divide by 4. That's the answer. Okay. Here is what I'm looking at. This is where I think, having, like I said, where I had something like this can be useful, because all you need to do is put your own values wherever you've got them there. Because when I was trying to do this sort of, just to go through it again for myself, I sort of found it hard to visualize which numbers I needed. And all I need to look for here now is I'm after this, because it says I'm after the month number 5. So month number 5 is this value here. So for me to calculate that value, I need this one and this one. Okay, I don't need anything else. I don't need this. I don't need that. All I need is this and this to give me this. Okay, so how do I get that? All right, so it was said it's a 4-point moving mean. 4 points I'm going to have, let's zoom in a bit now. So I'm going to have 354 plus 356 plus 3. So it's basically comes in here, plus 373 plus 353. Divide that by 4. Okay, and then this one here, I'm going to be having, I need 2 on the other side, so I need this lot. 356 plus 373 plus 353 plus 364. Guess what? Divided by 4. Then I get the 2 values from there, and I work it out. So what are the numbers? So by doing that, I get, so for this one, I get 359. For this one, I get 316.5. So here is what I would put in there. Okay, so the answer would be C. But you note that I don't need to calculate all of them. I need to calculate the ones where the information has been provided, what information I've been told. So it's a month number 5 again. So that means it's this one here. That means I need that, and I just need to work out those 2 values, and that's it. I don't need to calculate anything else. And that is an exam type question where they will ask that. They're not going to ask for a whole table, but they're going to ask you to sort of work out that particular part. Okay. I won't go through any more questions at the moment, but they're going to be a very similar process where you have to go through them. All right. And like, for example, this is a 2-point moving mean. This uses center and smooth the time series. So I could use something like that to put my numbers in. So like 2006, if you did it, it would be 2004, 2005, 2006. So you'd be after, I think I missed one there, so I'm going to have to fix that up. So I'd be after that value there, so I'd have to calculate those 2, etc., etc. Okay, that's how you can use something like this. Calculate instructions. Here's how you can do your calculate instructions. So you can put it in, follow these instructions on how to do it, and that will allow you to use a calculator to calculate the 2 mean smoothing with centering, 2 or 4 mean. So this one is, I think they're doing both at the same time. So do A, oops. So that's the one with, that's 2 mean, that's 4 mean. Okay, thank you.